Alright. Hey guys, we're back. AMM here. This is Pathfinder Adventure the Card Game, Wrath of the Righteous. If you haven't watched part 1 of this and you're still trying to learn the game, kind of like me, and you want to see it from the beginning, go ahead and watch that one before you watch this one, because this is not going to make much sense. I'm going to explain as I go. I had to take a short break to take care of my daughter, and we are now back. So here we go. Now we just banished a barrier that we had to face, which was nice, because if that barrier would have beaten us, we would have taken 2d4 damage to our hand, which could have been up to 8 cards had we discarded. So let's get this back on our way here. If you're watching, this is scenario the 11 Entanglement, in which I've already moved to the Dark Forest. I'm kind of having a little strategy here. I'm moving around, hoping I can get some armor, build my deck up so I have enough power and strength to face the monsters and henchmen, which none have showed up yet, luckily. So that is great news. I have finally moved to the Wooden Lands, about to take my first turn at the Wooden Lands, I believe. So I'm going to flip the Blessing deck, trying to build up my hand, trying to defeat these monsters. Now another ally popped up, and that's good. Check to acquire Constitution Fortitude. My Constitution is a D8, according to my skills list, or Charisma Diplomacy 6, which is my Charisma is a D8 plus 3. So I'm going to have to go with the bottom one here, the Charisma Diplomacy 6, to acquire this one. So I will roll my D8 here, and if I get a 6, which right now all I would need was a 3 to win. 8. So that's 8 plus 3 is 11. I'm going to acquire Mr. Teamster, an ally in my hand. Shuffle this up a bit. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to be shuffling this or not. I think so. But we're doing good. So we're going to flip the Blessings deck and continue our next turn here. And it's another barrier, Explosive Ruins, which was the same barrier we ran into a minute ago. Now earlier we had a weapon that actually strengthened our check, so we could roll another dice. And let's see, Intelligence, which would be a D6. Arcane I do not have, or Dexterity, Acrobatics, which I do not have. I can't use my Donovan just to add a D8, but there is no combat check. It is actually a Dexterity, which is actually only a D4. Or Intelligence, which is a D6. I'm going to lose no matter what. Okay, if undefeated, discard the top card of your deck. Each character at the location is dealt 2 D4s. So I don't really have anything good in my hand to use for this. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll with the Intelligence check. It's not going to do me any good. It's a D6. It's a 3. I beat it. I did not beat it, so I have to discard one from my hand, as well as roll this puppy 2 times, my D4 2 times, to take that damage, which, of course, I have to discard 4 right off the bat. Not good. Hopefully this is just a 1, and it's a 3, better than 4, but still. So all those cards that I pretty much just acquired are gone. And the barrier can banish this card. I don't have to face it again, which is good, but that leaves me 4 cards in my deck, 4 cards in my hand. Not what I really wanted to do. That barrier really hurt me. Probably why it's called barrier. So, we will move on. Sorry about my birds, once again. An item. Thankfully, it's not a henchman or a monster. We need an item for the Holy Water Grenade. Wisdom Divine 6, which I do not even have. Oh, yeah, I do. Wisdom, a D6. Plus 1. So I will roll my D6. 3 plus 1 is 4. Didn't get it. Bam. Advance the Blessings deck. And try again. And this time... Tangle Trap. Reveal a weapon that has the slashing trait to add 1d4 to your checks against this barrier. If undefeated, display the barrier next to its location. Deck. Characters cannot move or be moved from this location while the barrier is next to it. At the start of your turn, succeed at a Constitution or Fortitude 5 check, or bury the top card of your deck. If you succeed, banish this barrier. Let's see, what am I looking for here? Slashing. It's piercing. Piercing. Nothing slashing. Strength, Dexterity, Stealth is a 7. So that's a D10 from my skills, which if you're unfamiliar, at the top, Strength D10. Strength, which I have, so I have a D10 plus 2, so I might have a pretty good chance of beating this guy. I need a 7, so I pretty much need a 5. And I got a 5, exactly a 5, so I'm going to banish this, thankfully. The henchman is done. When you encounter a Bane, you may not play allies on your checks. That sucks. But anyway, I finally got that out of here. I'm going to advance the deck. That's just looking at the scenario at the bottom there. Now I got a helm, which is good. Constitution, Fortitude. Which I have a Constitution D8. I need a 3 to acquire this helm. That's not a D8. An 8. So I will acquire the helm. Thankfully, put it in my deck. Advance the Blessings deck. Wait. 5. So we have 5 cards at that location, 4 cards at that location, and 3 cards at this location. And 5, 4, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to be close. Now I'm going to read up on the rules real quick, trying to close a location. Because I'm not sure. Close location. If a character has a location that has no cards remaining that has not been closed, I might make one attempt to close it at this time. Okay. So we're not in that predicament yet. I'm going to go to 15 here. You may earn the opportunity to close location in a number of ways. Usually you get the opportunity to close location after defeating the henchman from that location deck. The henchman card will indicate if this is the case, or if after the location deck runs out of cards. Okay. So that's what we need to know. Now we did defeat a henchman. Reveal weapon that has a slashing trait, okay. No, get away. Oh my gosh, the birds. Sorry. Birds are nuts. So, that won't let me close the location, unfortunately. So that henchman, I don't know if we didn't do that. So we look at this. We have a monster. It's a dire rat. If undefeated, instead of the normal damage, the dire rat deals 1 combat damage to you. Succeed at a Constitution or a Fortitude 6 check. Get out of here! Sorry. This rat has glowing red eyes and is unusual size. Dire rat deals 1 combat damage to you. Okay. Constitution or Fortitude 6 check, or discard the top card of your deck. So if it beats me, I have to do a 1 combat damage to me. Plus, I have to succeed at a Constitution or Fortitude check, which would be a D8 at a 6, or discard the top card in my deck. So not only is it going to do direct deals 1 combat damage plus maybe the top card of my deck. So it's really can only do 2 damage here, which is not bad. But it says combat or dexterity. It's either a D4. I'm going to go with the combat, which is a D10. I need an 8 to defeat, and I got a 10. That is beautiful. That 10 right there is what I wanted to see. He is banished. Yes. So we're moving on. I think we still got a monster in here. Yeah, we do. Oh my gosh. Cambion. Cambion is immune to the electricity and poison before you succeed an Arcane or Divine 9 check, or you may not play spells that have the attack trait. I don't have any spells. I have to, if undefeated, bury an ally that lists diplomacy in its check to acquire. Okay. So not only is it going to do our damage, but I'm going to have to discard, bury an ally. With dexterity in my deck. So I need a combat level 12. I have it's a D. One second. Come here. Bye. Time out for Birdie. Probably mad now and probably start squawking, but that's what happens. So I'm not gonna beat this. I have no cards over here to your non-combat Constitution or Wisdom check. That's not gonna help. Discard this card, add 1 to any combat check by character at your location. Proficient with weapons, recharge this card instead. So I can use Recruit here because I am strong in weapons. So I can put it back in my deck, so that's great. So I can add 1 to my combat check. Still not going to beat him because it's combat 12 and I can only roll a D10. But it might help. 8. That is good. I will take that. He will go back in my hand. And I'm going to discard, if undefeated, bury an ally that has its diplomacy in its check to advance. Let's see, allies, diplomacy. Teamster has to get discarded here. And that's an 8, 9 because of the +1. 1, 2, 3. It's equal 12. So there we go. Undefeated, bury an ally, okay. Now I'm pretty sure he just goes back in the deck. So I'm going to turn the blessing card here and move my location to the Dark Forest. Okay, that's good. We need a weapon, strength, melee. It's a D10 plus a 2. Oh, I gotta get a card here. An armor, that is great. I need 2. Okay, an armor and a weapon, that will be helpful. I'm going to try to acquire this glaive +1. That's for your combat check. Reveal this card to use your strength or melee skill +1, D10 +1. If proficient with weapons, difficulty of this check is increased by 4. So I am proficient with weapons, so my strength melee, actually melee is good, I mean, because I get +2 anyway. So it is an 11 to get it. You may discard this card to re-roll the dice, take the new result. So that would be a good card to have. I will roll a D10 +2. I'm going to use my heavy pick here as well, which if you see for your combat check, reveal this card, use your strength or melee skill +1d6. So that's going to help me win this. So I'm going to use my heavy pick. So I'm going to use my D10 here 4 plus 2 is 6. Now I need to use 1d6. If I can get a 5. So the glave is gone. My heavy pick goes back into my hand. And I draw a card, which is now not looking good here for me. Flip the blessing deck. Flip the next card, and it is a henchman. Let's see what this henchman is. The Vesper Swarm. Check the combat defeat is 11. The Vesper Swarm is. I should have saved my freaking. Should have saved my weapon for this. If you play a weapon with this counter, banish it. Okay, I'm not going to. It's defeated by at least 4 plus scenarios of advantage. Fetch your deck number. You may immediately attempt to close the location this henchman came from. I'm not going to defeat it with a 15 just because I only have a 10. If the check to defeat has the attack trait, add 1d8. Check to defeat has the attack trait, add 1d8. It does have the attack, so I'm pretty sure I got to roll a d10 and a d8 here. If I'm doing this wrong, please comment and let me know, hey, at this time, when you face this guy. So I got to use a d10 and a d8, because my check, let's see. The check to defeat has the attack trait, add 1d8. It is an attack instead of combat. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's not the trait. What is the trait here? I think the trait is actually like the melee, so I don't actually know what it's called. If the check to defeat has the attack trait, I really don't know. I'm gonna look at something. Yeah, I think that's how it is, because I can add 1d8. So. 6 and 6 is 12, and oh, actually, wait, that's a 9. That is a 9, so that's 15. If defeated at least 4, plus scenario adventure, which is 0 because it's base, you may immediately attempt to close the location. Now, if I did this wrong, please correct me. But the attack to beat was a combat. So now I can try to close the location, which, looking at here, when closing, I can try. It says, succeed. I don't know if you can see that. Succeed at a wisdom or survival check with a difficulty of 7. Plus the, so I just need a 7 on my wisdom or survival check, which is a d6 plus 1. So I can attempt to close it, which is a d6 plus 1. So if I get a 6 right here, I can close this. Oh, it's a 2. Not going to happen. So location remains open. I don't lose anything there. Turn my card, and now I have a great barrier. Each character randomly chooses a character, summon, and encounter this adventure. Randomly choose a character to summon and encounter this adventure's shepherd or demon. Defeat this barrier. All the summoned demons must be defeated. This adventure's shepherd demon. Which I think I have a card for that. Give me just a sec. Shepherd demon table. Which now I have to figure out which one this is from. The 11 Entanglement. So give me just a second. I'm going to do some reading here. So which one are we in? The 11 entanglements. Not that one. Yes, it's Into the World Wound. That's what it will be. Now each deck here has a. I'm going to actually have to summon, according to this right here, which is a summoner list. Silver Demon Table. Into the World Wound. It's the base one. It's the Demilene is what I'm going to have to, the henchman I'm going to have to summon. So I have to walk over here, get the Demilene. There. There's the Demilene. So this game is either going to go on for a little bit more or it's going to lose. Check the defeat is only a combat 8. Demilene is immune to electricity and poison traits before you act. To succeed at a wisdom or perception 7 check, or the Demilene may not be evaded. The difficulty of the checks to defeat the Demilene is increased by 3. Damn. Okay. Check. Demilene may not be evaded in the difficulty. So if I get a 7, which I have to get a 6 on my wisdom because I get a +1. So if I get a 6 right now, that sucks. I can actually avoid this. And the difficulty, okay. If succeeded a wisdom perception 7 check of the Demilene may not be, or the Demilene may not be evaded. And the difficulty of check. So I have to succeed at this before I do anything. 4. So that does not get the wisdom or perception 7 check because that's only a 4. +1, which would be 5. So now the check to defeat, it says you have to increase it by 3. So now it's an 11. So now it's a D10 plus a 2. So I'm going to look here. I can add 1. I can use my recruit here, but that's going to discard it. I don't know if I want to do that. What happened there? One second, guys. Sorry, guys. Gotta check something. Anyway, what I was doing was looking at my my shields. Now I'm going to use my wooden shield here as well. I'm not playing a weapon. Yeah, I can't. So I can play this card. Recharge this card to reduce combat damage dealt to you by 2. So anyway, we're gonna have to beat this one, which is an 11. So I gotta roll my D10. which is right here. So I got to get a 9. A 9 plus a 2 would be 11. 6. Which I thought it was a 9, but that's a 6 apparently. So apparently I have 6 plus 2 is 8. I would have beat it before. Plus 2 is 8. But my wooden shield does take most of the damage for me. I did not defeat it. If undefeated, move to a random location. So I didn't beat him. I could put him back in my deck. I'm going to draw this one. But I got 8 of 11. That would normally be 3. But I used my wooden shield, which gave me protection of 2. So I only have to discard 1 card. Now I'm down to my 4 cards here. These are all discarded. And this barrier, all the summoning demons have to be defeated before I can defeat this barrier. So pretty much I'm either going to have to move and beat that one, which I might actually just turn the blessing deck right here, move here, and play one. It's another barrier. Character summons and encounters the henchman Fiendish Tree. We've already beat that one before. Barriers that defeated by undefeated or undefeated based solely on your encounter. If any Fiendish trees were not defeated, roll 1d20. If the result is less than or equal to the number of Fiendish trees that were not defeated, summon an encounter. So there's only one Fiendish tree. If any Fiendish trees were not defeated, roll 1d20. If the result is less than or equal to the number of Fiendish trees. So the henchman Fiendish Tree. So we're going to have to play on Fiendish Tree, which is combat check 13. Okay, twice Fiendish Tree is mental poison. Check to defeat. It has a fire trait, 1d8. And before you act, Fiendish Tree deals 1 range combat damage to you. So before you act, the Fiendish Tree deals 1 range combat damage to you. So there goes him, and then, okay. So now we have to do a combat trait. Now I'm going to add the heavy pick. For your combat check, reveal this card, use your strength melee plus 1d6. So I'm going to roll these. I have to get a 13, but I can discard this card to add another 1d6. 5 and 6 is 11. I'm going to discard my heavy pick, which grants me another, this one. Two, 13, defeated. Fiendish Tree gone. Thank God, because I don't know if I can handle it. This barrier stopped here. I did draw a barrier on here. Okay, so this one is banished too. Its barrier is gone. I draw a blessing, and now I'm going to have to face the monster. Defeated during your exploration, you may explore your location. If undefeated, shuffle the cave lizard to a random open location. Okay, cave lizard combat check is 11. So pretty much this is how it's going to roll. If I get a 10, which is a strength, which is a d10 plus 2. So to beat it, I really need to get a 9. If I get an 8, plus 2 would be 10. I would have to discard one of my remaining cards. I have 2 cards left. Now if I get a 7, which would be 7 plus 2 is 9, which would be 2 under the actually check to beat the lizard, I would have to discard both of these cards. And I would lose this game. So it's either roll a 9 and move along. I roll an 8, and I discard one of my cards, and if I roll a 7 or below, we're done. 5, 7 or below, ladies and gentlemen. That would give me 4 combat damage. I do not have the cards it takes. I have to discard my final 2 cards, and guess what? Game, set, and match. I hope you've enjoyed watching this presentation of Pathfinder Adventure Card Game, The Wrath of the Righteous. I'm AMM here. I have a lot of fun playing this game. I think it'd be a lot more fun with 2 players. Could probably have my fiance play, maybe record another one. I might try another 1-player one maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight, probably tonight. But I hope you've enjoyed. Like I said, I'm a new player to this game. If I've ever made any mistakes during the video of gameplay, like I know I was one of the henchmen I had to face, I added a D8 because, okay, it's a combat, so, you know, I gotta add a D8 to it. So if I did anything wrong in how the game is actually played, please let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to find more Pathfinder Adventure games coming up. I hope you learned a little bit if you're new. Because I'm still learning too, and I got my butt kicked. Went a little bit better than last time. We had 4 blessing cards left. Probably not enough to lead. I don't think I ever said you have to start the game with 30 blessing cards. You never have a chance to acquire those cards. It's kind of like a game timer. If you don't close all locations and defeat all monsters, when that timer runs out, you lose the game. And I ran out of cards, so that's how I lost the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you appreciate it. Sorry for the intermittent breaks and everything I had to take, and the birds chirping in the background. But I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.